Hello, this is Mad Cat, and well, the good news is I'm off the streets. Let's just go right for the jugular. Right now, I'm in my new home, and boy, does it feel great. I got wonderful sleep last night. I get to be with the girls that I love. I got some work done last night. Had a pretty decent meal. Um, it is wonderful. We are currently living in a studio. I guess it's kind of like a hotel, I guess, but it's like extended stay. It's a weird concept to me, but I guess they exist. I mean, they have locations all over the place, so I'm sure this isn't the only one like this, but it's a nice place where like our utilities are paid for us. We get free Wi-Fi, free cable TV. Um, Not a whole lot of room, but I mean, I'm not complaining. Make the most of what you have, right? And I certainly do that here, but this is actually my first day here. Um, so yeah, I mean, I almost want to cry right now because I was homeless for 2 months. And first, I tried just roughing it on the land, and then I was in shelters for most of those 2 months. But it was like, man, it felt like a long time. And I'm going to shave all of this off today when I get the opportunity. Um, but yeah, that 2 months felt like 2 years. Now, part of that is because of my disability. I have a very poor memory, and when you have a poor memory, when you try to think back to things like what I was doing when this all first started, it feels like it happened so long ago. And I know it was only 2 months, but it feels like 2 years. So, I mean, that's one of the things with my disability is that my perception of time is skewed. But even last night feels like it happened a week ago. It's a strange feeling. So, I want to say that with my experience being homeless, I mean, I understand it more. I mean, when we talk about homelessness within this movement, we're mostly talking about statistics or stories that we've heard from people out there, but I've actually lived it. So I have a better understanding of it. But I would not call myself an expert on it because most people, like a lot of people I've met in the shelter system, they've been homeless for a number of years. Like one of the people that slept near me, he's been in and out of shelters and prison for 10 years. Now, he's certainly on the path to better himself, and, he ended up becoming a bartender and actually got a job at it. So, it's very likely that he's going to make it this time around, and I certainly hope that he does. But there have been people who've been doing this for a very long time, and my 2 months is nothing. Certainly, it gives me a taste for it. It certainly convinces me that it's not something I ever want again. It's enough that I've got to work hard for for the life that I want to lead. And right now, that life I want to lead is with the woman I love. And, Jenny, bless her heart, but she has taken a big risk on us. I mean, we've known each other for 18 years. We met when we were both in the military. We've talked on and off throughout the years. It was only really in the last 2 years did we really start talking to each other. And we discussed the possibility of being in a relationship, but it wasn't until about maybe 4 months ago did we actually start. And then, she came out to see me. And then I came out here to Detroit after being 1 month in Philadelphia. And, part of me regrets leaving Philadelphia because Philadelphia seems to be more geared towards the homeless population. But being here in Detroit, it seemed less so. But then, had I stayed 2 months in Philadelphia, and then came here to Detroit, I'd still be staying a 1 month in Detroit for us to move in. But coming to Detroit, I was hoping to, since I was here, move things along a little bit faster, which my plan worked. And after 2 months in the shelter system, I'm now here with my girlfriend. But I'm not an expert on this. I can't say that my experience makes me a go-to person to talk about the experience. I can tell you what I went through. I can tell you what other people I've met have gone through. I can give you an understanding, but, from what I understand, I was pretty lucky. Because, like, the shelters that I went through, they weren't horrible. They're actually very decent. I mean, they weren't perfect by any means, and if I ever become homeless, I know now that the VA is an option. And that it tends to be a better experience going through the VA system than going through a normal shelter. But, just 2 months into it, I mean, there are people who spend years in the system, so I can only really give my own anecdotal evidence on that, my own experience. I can't really use what I went through as a representation of what the system is like. So, me and Jenny, I'm not out of the woods yet. I might not be on the streets right now, but, there's still a lot of work ahead. I've got to get my freelance stuff off the ground. I've got to start working and making money. I'd rather do it just for my books, but I thought if I released one really good book, it would be enough to, start making a little bit of money. Maybe not enough to live a luxurious life, but enough to live a life, even if it was just in a, one-bedroom apartment or a studio apartment. That's what I meant to say. So, me and Jenny, we get along so great. We get along so well. But we do come from two different places. We come from two different worlds. And, normal dating is like, you work through all of that stuff first before you move in together. So it is quite a big step that we're moving in so soon in our relationship. Now, bless her heart, she's mostly doing that because she doesn't want me to be on the streets. She is a very good person, a very upstanding person, but we both have had a lot of relationships in the past where we've had to stifle ourselves, that we had to dial it back on who we are in order for the relationship to work, because the other person was kind of stuck in their ways. They didn't want to really do anything more than what they are. And, me and Jenny have talked about this, and we want to be who we are. And with me and Jenny, we do that. We are who we want to be with each other. We don't dial it back in any way, or we try not to. But, a relationship is about compromise, but, in our compromises, we still want to retain our individuality, And that's going to present some challenges. But I know both of us really want this relationship to work, but neither of us want the other person to have to sacrifice who they are, So it's going to come with some challenges. We're going to have to learn how we can be individuals within a relationship and also be a couple with each other. But, we don't want to go back to the lives we once had. We want to build something new, something unique. So, every relationship is work. And we know that. We both really know that. Today, though, I get to relax. Um, Jenny, she still wants me to be out and about. Uh, she kind of agreed today that I could take some time to relax and try to get some stuff done around the house, but she still wants me to be as active as possible. She's talked about wanting to get me a gym membership so I can start working out during the week, go to a 24-hour center. And I'm excited about that. I would love to work out every day. She also wants me to go to the library, and I actually went to the library last night. It's actually very nice. It's a very nice library here in Livonia, which is where I'm at right now. But during the daytime, she would like me to go to the library to work. I mean, I could work around here and all of that, but I actually agree with her. I should be going out. Even a work-from-home job, I might as well be out, Unfortunately, the library is 4 miles away, so it's a bit of a walk. But, the way I look at it is it's a small sacrifice for not being on the street. So, I walk there 4 miles and I walk back, and I get work done. I get exercise, I get out, I'm not cooped up in here all day long. So, it's a small sacrifice. So today, I'm going to... Apparently they rent out pots and pans here, or they loan out pots and pans. We don't really have any. So I'm going to try to get some from the office today, get the Wi-Fi password, do some laundry. I mean, I was doing laundry while I was at the shelter, but I want to do I want to clean all of my clothes, because it's kind of hard to really have clean clothes when you have to put them into a dirty bag, and you also keep your dirty laundry in there. So I want to completely do all of my laundry, and then, maybe clean up a little bit around here. Get things organized around here. So, and then just relax, Because I think that's the most important thing, is that when you come from being on the streets, on the shelter, you just want to get it out of you, Now, I also want to try to get some shopping done this weekend. Apparently there's a sale within the area for Meijer and Kroger where you can get a crock pot. And I think at Kroger, if you get a crock pot, you get $10 off your bill. Or if you go to Kroger, you can get $10 off a crock pot. Kind of weird how that... did I say Kroger twice? At Meijer, you can get $10 off the crock pot. At Kroger, you can get $10 off your final bill. But I want a nice 7-quart crock pot. And I'm telling Jenny that, I want to cook her dinner, especially when she comes home from work. She's going to actually have a tough shift for the next 10 days. She's going to be working 2 jobs. So, I want to, while I'm here, cook for her. And she keeps telling me, it's if you cook for me, I'm never going to leave you. Because she doesn't really cook too much herself. She can do a few things, but, I love to cook, so... we don't have a whole lot of space there. We don't actually have an oven either. We only have a stovetop, so that's going to be a bit challenging. It's like cooking with one hand tied behind your back. love using an oven, so I only have a stovetop. I mean, I could make a makeshift oven, but that's just too much work. So, I don't need an oven. I can still cook without it, but, I need to try to get a cast iron skillet, a crock pot, and some other pots and pans. And so long as I have that, I should still be able to cook wonderful meals for the both of us. So, I look forward to cooking for her in all honesty, because food for me is a very intimate thing. I mean, no, I don't think it's romantic to go to McDonald's or Burger King, but when I cook food, I like doing it for the people that are important to me. I like doing it for friends. I like doing it for family, and now I get to do it for Jenny. Have cooked for her in the past, and she does love my food, so, but I kind of have to reteach myself how to cook, so, but as she says, I'll be your guinea pig. She cracks me up so much. Anyways, I've kind of hit, 16 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and jump off of here. I just want everyone to know that I'm doing okay. I'm off the streets and got lots of plans. I want to make sure I don't ever return to the streets again. I mean, I got lucky with my 2 months, but, it doesn't feel like I was lucky. It feels like it was hell. And I know it could be a lot worse, so. But I'm fine now. I'm going to get my life back in order and do what I can to make sure that A, I never go back to the streets, and 2, I can be the man for Jenny that I want to be. So anyways, that's going to do it for me today. Thank you everyone who has helped me, those who have sent me well wishes, those who have donated to my campaigns. My Patreon campaign is still going on, and I want to use that to try to get insurance and try to get my life in order. So if you still want to help me out, I recommend donating to my Patreon. Even $1 helps me out a lot. So, if you want to help me out, consider donating to my Patreon, or you can donate directly to my PayPal, or just buy my book. All 3 of those help me out a lot. Anywho, that's going to do it for me today. This is Mad Cat signing out.